morning and namaskar. So I was talking about the importance of body language. In the first phase of training of an actor, one learns and gets acquainted with one's own body and other body languages also. But apart from this, there is another dimension, which is the fitness of an actor. One has to learn it. So all over the world, different kinds of practices are involved. But in the system of Abhinaya Yog, we encourage yogasanas for the general fitness and the general health of an individual. Because yogasanas have got a deeper and a lasting impact on not only the body of an individual, but the mind also. Mind also becomes more stable, more concentrated, more focused. In any other system of exercises, this is not possible. It happens only in the asanas. And if one is aware of different kinds of asanas where one learns to do asanas in certain pairs, like for example, the pair of Sarvangasana and Matsya is good for the thyroid gland. Some people know it, some do not. But if it is done if it is done consciously, so a certain hormone is released, a certain hormone is secreted, which gives not only the physical fitness, but the emotional and mental health also to an individual. Similarly, another pairs like Chakrasana and Naukasana, or Bhujangasana and Paschimottanasana. This asana gives you a feel-good factor in the Manipur chakra and the area of stomach or belly. And the adrenaline hormone is secreted, which gives you a feeling of happiness and pleasure. So these things are completely missing in the other exercises like gym and aerobics and running and walking. So in the system of Abhinaya Yog, for the general health and fitness of an individual, we propagate yogasanas. Now we come to the next important tool of an actor, which is voice. See, the way two bodies are different, two voices are also different. And you know, through phone calls and through our communications, we recognize an individual with his or her voice. So voice is such a thing which is very, very dear to a person. And a person's nature, person's character, person's integrity or lack of integrity, person's demeanor can be understood by his vocal inflections, his intonations. So, while getting trained as an actor, one has to understand the whole structure of voice. And for the sake of acting, for better acting, one has to improve upon one's voice. On the path of improvement, what does one learn? One learns firstly to speak clearly, whether it is Hindi or English or Urdu or whatever. The first and foremost importance is to learn to speak clearly. Each and every word, each and every letter, each and every consonant has to be reproduced in its own essence. And then the second part is sufficient loudness, which we call as projection in the technical language. Then comes the diction part. In Hindi we call it Uchcharan. So Hindi must sound like Hindi, and Sanskrit is Sanskrit and Urdu is Urdu. Then articulation is another very important aspect, important feature of a good voice. One has to be articulate. If one is not articulate, if one is a little hesitant in one's speech, then one may encounter many different difficulties. And the last one is to learn to train your voice as an expressive voice. So voice has to be expressive so that all major feelings, all major emotions, all major colors of words can be expressed. Like if one is angry, the voice must be sufficiently trained to express anger. Same is with other emotions like misery, like happiness, like being cheerful, being jovial, being playful, or being fearful, or being surprised, full of delight. There are so many colors, so many different feelings, so many different emotions, and the voice must be trained enough to project it, to express it. Now, for the training of voice, what does Abhinaya Yog propagate? There are so many exercises. All over the world, teachers are teaching different kind of vocal exercises. That's good, that's fine. But here, in the system of Abhinaya Yoga, we encourage pranayama. We have heard a lot about these yogasanas and pranayama, but here we learn pranayama in a very systematic way. And what happens with the training, with learning of pranayama? Firstly, the breath becomes longer. Breath becomes deeper. The shallowness of breath gets overcome. At the same time, one learns how to control one's breath. So, which actually is the meaning of pranayama. The control of breath. The control of breath is done mostly through the exhalation part. Body naturally inhales and exhales, but through the exercise of pranayama, we learn how to inhale deeply, how to exhale in control, and how to retain the breath also. The retention of the breath is also a very important aspect of yogasanas and pranayama, which in the yogic terminology is called as Purak, Rechak and Kumbhak. It's inhalation, retention and exhalation. If one learns it properly, if one learns it nicely, automatically the voice will improve. Even an ordinary voice will find certain changes after minimum practice of 1 month of systematic and disciplined pranayama. So, I have discussed 2 salient features, body and voice, and the next chapter for the training of an actor is the world of emotions. It's a huge world. Everybody experiences emotions. Everybody has emotions. Without emotions, human beings are as good or as mechanical as animals. It is our emotional world which makes one different from the another person. So about this emotional world, I'll talk tomorrow. So we take a break here. Thank you so much.